Good morning, you guys. All right, I have such, I think, a good episode for you guys today. This week, I've had really good results. I've seen a lot of changes, so I want to share everything that I'm learning. Again, this is just stuff that I think these are like my theories. I don't know if it'll apply to anyone else, but to me, it's so pivotal. It's feels like what I've been looking for. So I just want to share with you guys in hopes that it helps anybody out there. So this week I weighed in today at 188 from my highest so far being 202 and the beginning of the week being 191. So of course that's some water weight, but it just goes to show how much my diet, my appetite has changed. You guys, like, I feel like um and the biggest difference is yesterday it's gotten progressively better over the week. I've been making better choices. For me, that means mostly smaller portions. A couple days ago I had wings and fries for my 1 meal a day, but I still lost, I think, a pound or two the next day. And by the end of the week, I got to yesterday where I was not even hungry at all. I did not even have an appetite. I was just like, okay, I have to eat something. My blood sugar's going low. I'm about to go for my walk, so I made myself eat something. And I've this is what I've been looking for, because I know every time I've lost weight, it wasn't me trying to say, okay, I need to stop eating this. It wasn't that feeling where I'm like, okay, just one last fry or anything like that. It was more of a, I just don't want the food. And now I think I'm finally figuring it out. So how I've managed to do this, the bulk of this has happened over the past 3 weeks, and I'm a big believer that it takes kind of 3 weeks to like change a habit, change a pattern. And it's all about building our inner world, changing what our inner world is. And I've done this progressively over the past 3 weeks. I'm really seeing the changes now. And so now it's more about me keeping it up. And this is, I realize now every time I'm like, we all know what diet we need to follow. We all know what better portions are. We all know what we need to do. It's the act of actually doing it. We can't, I have the hardest time trying to figure that out. And I realize now that it's like trying to hit the pedal with no gas in the car. The pedal is the diet, the exercise, all of that stuff. We keep slamming the pedal and we don't understand why the car won't go, but it's because our tank is empty. So my inner world is actually changing, and that means I'm actually becoming a different person. And over the past year is when I've gained all of my weight. I've gained probably a solid 50 pounds over the past year. And when I say my inner world, it means like where my mental focus is, and putting my mental focus on myself, because I have been saying that for the past year. Okay, like pouring into myself, focus on myself. But for some reason, I just couldn't get it. I was trying, but I didn't have the follow through like I was trying to do. What changing my inner world is really about is changing what my mental energy goes to, where my mental focus is 24 hours a day. So I do that by acknowledging where my mind goes, what kind of things I think about, acknowledge it, and then change it. Change it to the things that I do want. And this is the hardest part, because I've been trying to do this for the past 3 weeks, and I'm just now starting to feel like I'm getting a grip on it, because it's made me realize how automatic all of my thoughts are. Automatic worrying about this, worrying about that, thinking about the things that I do not want in my life. I spend so much time worrying about it. And consequently, I've been gaining weight for the past year. And so over the past 3 weeks, I've been consciously being aware of where my thoughts are going, where my mental energy is going. First acknowledge it, and then, okay, change it. And I have to go back to my list of things that I want, which is going through the human needs. It's having security, feeling heard and seen, feeling connected, having excitement, feeling significant, all of those things. And here's the thing, we have to fulfill those needs ourselves. We have to be the ones to do that for ourselves. And so for me, my best thing that I go to when I find myself like worrying about other stuff is I go to a podcast, I go to an audiobook that's like self-development, or I start going through my list of the human needs and what that means for me. How do I see myself? How do I like acknowledge and make myself feel heard, by honoring my emotions, validating my own emotions? How do I have connecting with myself, feeling significant, feeling like no matter how small something is, whoever I come across in the day, trying to be a light in someone's day and just doing a kindness without wanting anything in return, just smiling at somebody. All of these things, I start going through the list and I listen to my podcast and I listen to my audiobooks, and it gets me in that headspace. And this is so hard. I didn't realize how hard and how automatic these thoughts are for me, where I'm just worrying about what I don't want, what I need to fix. Why can't I stop eating this? Why has it been this long and I'm still eating this way? It was just constant once I started acknowledging it. And then as time goes on and I repeat over and over the things that I do want, it gets so much better. And sure enough, here I am in the third week. Like, I didn't even want to eat food yesterday, and I made healthier choices. I didn't have any fries yesterday. So it's just, this is the hardest part, because it's one thing to know what to do, but to actually daily monitor your thoughts and think about what you're realizing, what you're thinking about, is a lot. It's hard to do, especially when you realize how ingrained things are. Sometimes I will consciously shift my mind, like, okay, where's my mental focus at, Shalina? And I will say, okay, I need to shift it back to what I want in my life. And before I even know it, it goes right back to the old pattern, and it, like, I realize how bad it is, how much my thoughts go to the worries and all that kind of stuff. So this is just pivotal. This is something that I have to remember, and I think this is going to be the key for me. And if I ever find myself gaining weight again, I know what I need to do. I know I need to shift my mental focus back to the things I want, not just as far as weight loss and health, but just in life in general, because it's focusing on myself. That's pouring the fuel into the tank. And then when we hit the gas pedal, then it goes. And the cool thing here is that our experiences give us proof, because in the past, every single time I've lost weight, I look at where my mental focus was. It was always on trying to be the best version of myself, trying to be the best me, trying to grow as a person. That's where all my mental focus was. And over the past year, it's shifted to worry and all those kinds of things. And sure enough, my weight has gained. My weight has gone up. So it really, to me, I really believe it's about where your mental energy goes, because where energy goes, everything flows. You guys know what I'm trying to say. Energy, okay, you guys know what I'm trying to say. So some signs of needing to change the inner world that I thought of are wanting life to change, wanting relationships to change, wanting, having like a lot of stress in your life, feeling like everything's kind of messy car, messy house, just feeling like everything's kind of discombobulated all the time. To me, I think those are signs that the inner world needs to be focused on, because your outer world is a reflection of the inner world. Just like our body is a reflection of our inner world, that I believe. How our mind is shows how everything else is. Okay, so here are some of my tips for building your inner world. Our inner world, I realize, is really the only thing that we have in life. This is where we live. This is our home. This is like our house. If it's nice and clean and tidy, it's productive, it's easy to get things done, it's more motivating. So remembering that our inner world is our home. This is our safe place. This is our secure place. So this is where we live. This is where we experience the world. So we should make it the best we can, because no matter what's going on or where we are, that's where we live. How we perceive the world is in our head, our minds. So making our inner world the priority is so important. And I believe that what we see in our outer world is a reflection of what's going on inside. And so for me, I've had my mental focus on stress and all these things the past year. Of course, my weight goes up. Of course, listening to podcasts, audiobooks, keeping things in mind front and center of where I want to go, who I want to be, who I want to become, keeping those things in front and center are definitely, for me, the best ways to kind of get to that inner world that I want. The second most important thing that I use is having my routine. I have finally started getting back into my routine. I don't have it perfect yet. I'm still modifying it, but I'm finally having that routine. It gives me that security. And the biggest thing about having a routine for me is it frees up my mental space, because then I don't have to worry about, okay, I need to get to work by this time so I can do this, and oh, this pops up and I've got to get this done. And it makes so much, it requires so much mental energy of myself that I'm just exhausted. I have no mental energy afterwards to focus on what do I want, where I want to be, where I want to go. It's so draining of energy. So having a routine for me has been very pivotal in allowing space or creating space for me to focus on these things that I want, who I want to be, what I want to have, and what I want to do. So definitely having a routine, it takes some time, but for me, my routine is getting up in the morning, going to the gym, coming back, getting ready for work, going to work, coming back. I mean, just having like my set routine. I know which days I clean, I know which days I wash my hair, I know what days XYZ, and that way I just know, oh, Thursdays, and it makes it so much easier. As a matter of fact, on my phone I have my schedule, so in case I forget, I can just pull it up on my back screen, and it makes it a lot easier. And also, I've been trying to do more things that are pouring into myself. Past year's videos, all ponytail, no makeup, fresh out of the gym. And so I've been spending more time just like pouring into myself, making myself feel good. I'm still waiting to lose weight to buy cute clothes and all that good stuff, but putting in the effort so that I feel good about myself now, because the energy we have right now will bring about more of that energy. So feeling good about myself, taking care of my self-care, wearing my hair down more, putting on my makeup, all that good stuff. One of the biggest things I realized is where we put our attention, energy flows. So if we're putting our attention on the worry, on the doubts, why can't I do this? It's putting attention on the things we don't want. That only creates more of what we don't want. When I start focusing all of my energy on these things about who I want to be, who I want to become, all that stuff, I see better and better things show up in my life. And sure enough, my appetite's changing, my desire for food's changing. I'm filling up my tank instead of needing it from food. I hate to say that, but it's probably true. Like, that's probably where I do that, is by eating. So really focusing on where my attention goes has helped tremendously. What I really love the gym, because if I have a hard time bringing the attention from external and bringing it internal, then I just when I'm in the gym, I can focus on the muscle contracting. I can focus on feeling my muscle squeeze, and that really brings me into the present moment. It really brings attention to myself, and really, I think that our internal compass is our emotions and being in tune with ourselves. So the more we feel bad, the more out of tune with ourselves I think we are. The more we feel good, the more in tune with ourselves we are. And being in tune with myself is part of having that focus and attention on the things I want, pouring into myself, filling up my own gas tank. So I've been trying really hard to pay attention to how my energy levels are, what my emotions are, and where my attention's focused, because where attention goes, energy flows. That's the one I was looking for. So one of the things I've noticed is when I focus my energy inward, it allows me to choose better foods, because I'm like, this food will make me feel good. That food will make me feel bad. I don't want that. And I notice when my energy and my attention goes to the external world, looking for external validation, those kinds of things, I find myself like needing the food. And I think it's because I feel so deprived inwardly that it's like I have to have the food. And that's why I think I've been filling myself up. That the past few days I've just been like, wow, is this a fluke? I don't really have appetite, like, but it makes sense. I'm pouring my energy into myself, and it is really hard to do. Like, it's been hard for me because I didn't realize how automatic and how just ingrained these thoughts are in me. And so it's taken a lot of patience and time. And the best thing you can do is just acknowledge it first. Just that's progress, to be able to just acknowledge our thoughts and take inventory of our thoughts. And then from there, you can consciously say, okay, I need to focus on what do I want. If it's hard to do that, then whatever gets you thinking about that kind of stuff. For me, it's podcasts, things that I find interesting, audiobooks, stuff like that. And it allows me to shift and start thinking about all of these things that I do want. And it does take time. It does take repetition and patience. But I really think this is it. I think this is what I've been searching for. I think that this is my like lighthouse, that if I ever start finding myself, wanting to overeat and all that kind of stuff, I know what the answer is. It's because my energy must be going outward, and I'm looking for something to fill the inward. And again, our experience gives us proof. I remember the first time I lost weight back in 2015, I think it was, and I did a bodybuilding.com weight loss transformation contest. And I remember the last week of the contest being so excited about submitting my photos. I was just like pouring into myself so much, focusing on where I'm going, what I'm doing, what I want, all that good stuff. I remember I did not even want to eat one day, and I made myself eat some grilled chicken out of the fridge. And the past year I've been like, man, how do I get back that mentality where it's like, I've got to just eat some chicken, I've got to eat something. And man, it feels good. I don't know if this is a fluke, but I think this is it, because yesterday especially I was like, I could not even eat today. But of course, I don't want to mess with my blood sugar. I don't want to let cravings creep back in, so I ate. But it's a really good feeling to finally get back there. I think this is it. The trick is really just knowing where our mental focus goes. It's like the rudder of life. It will go, but it will show which way we're going depending on where our mental focus goes. So this is like the big secret for me. I think this is it. And the cool thing about this is I feel like the more we fill up this gas in our own tank, the more we can drive around and make deliveries to all those people in our lives. I thought that was pretty cool. Like, the more my tank is full, the more I can do for others. And maybe that's why I've been so stressed, is because I haven't been filling up my tank, and I'm trying to get around to get all these things done, and it just leaves me feeling exhausted and tired. And I feel so much better now. So yeah, I'm finally starting to feel like myself again, you guys. It feels good. I'm finally starting to feel like the gym is my place again. I've been in there for the past year, but now I'm really starting to find myself getting the zone again and just love it. And I'm glad that I kept the gym in. Last couple years, 2 years ago when I lost weight, I was in the gym, and I remember being like, well, I won't ever stop going to the gym, because even if I gain weight back, at least I'll have step one out of the way. At least I'll have that one brick already laid. Even if I'm in the gym for just 5 minutes a day, at least I have the habit of physically being in the gym. And I'm glad I kept that, because that's one less thing that I'd have to be trying to incorporate and learn and get in my schedule and get in the habit. So I'm really grateful for that. Okay, so I have this app that I found that I absolutely love. It's called Happy Scale. It lets me log my weight every single day, and I love it because it has little milestones. So for the past week, I've been like 188 is my first milestone, and sure enough, I hit it today. So I like it because it kind of gives me like little bitty goals to shoot for versus like this huge 50-pound, 80-pound goal. So really loving that. I'll put the link in the notes below. I'm not affiliated with them, but I absolutely love that app. So just to kind of finish this off, I really believe that our mental focus, where we put our mental energy, how much of that we put towards ourselves and building the life that we want and our goals, all those kinds of things, putting towards our human needs, is directly proportional to how much weight we lose, how fast. So I believe that the more that I can pour my energy and time and attention into this life I want, the things I want versus the things I don't want, then the more weight I can lose faster. So we'll see. I think this is kind of like the rudder of life. It's our internal compass kind of guiding us when we give it attention. But that's the thing, is like I have to keep giving it attention, keep paying attention to it and follow where it goes instead of putting all of my attention outwards. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Please let me know if you guys have any questions. Thank you guys so much for listening. And I'm excited to talk to you guys next week. Hope you have a good weekend, and I'll see you next time. Mwah.